guys, I want to make this video for those survivors, as you can see, that have broken up with a narcissist. And guess what, Lakia? I'm not brokenhearted. I'm not brokenhearted. I ain't losing no sleep over that fool. I'm on to the next. I'm pretty good to go. This can actually happen. And for some of you, you're probably like, what? I was devastated. I was brokenhearted and da, 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 da. It's not everybody's experience. You know, I can't put everybody in one box, okay, per se. That's why even with a narcissist, I always say there's a spectrum, okay? And they'll fall somewhere on that spectrum. And the same thing for survivors. They're going to fall somewhere on that spectrum, depending on the level of their emotional maturity. Hey, maybe this person could have already experienced narcissistic abuse in the past, and this time they realized it, they nipped it in the bud, they weren't in resistance, they had faith and trust in their present and their future. They knew they felt worthy of something better. They were completely willing to let go of that trash, and it wasn't a devastation. And even if the narcissist betrayed them, which they do, on some level, some shape, form, or fashion, even those losses, you know, the person can see, you know what, I'm so blessed and I'm so glad that they're gone, and I can get all that back. I'm going to be okay, basically. You know, the main thing is just removing them, okay? Like you feel better the next day instead of heartbroken and going through that really rough purge that a lot of survivors go through, who it may be their first time, or who have to do more shadow work on themselves, who weren't necessarily in their strongest strength at the time, who kind of gave their power away, you know. And then there's some people who didn't give it away. They just, you know what, they realized what it was, and it was boom, boom, bam. And I'm cool with that. You know, I'm cool with that. So I want to validate those people who've had that experience. Sure, you know, of course, you're going to be able to recognize, you know what, that was disrespectful. That was shady what they did. I didn't appreciate it. But you know what? It didn't break my heart. I didn't emotionally attach to that person. I wasn't operating out of codependency per se. I'm free flowing in my life as far as, you know what doesn't serve me needs to go, and what does serve me needs to stay. Okay. So, you know, that can be some people's experience. Let me know down there if you were that person. Like, you know what? I realize this person's toxicity. Yes, I say the word toxicity because I feel like it should be said that way. In all my videos, I say it that way. Okay. But yeah, you could say, you know what, that person was toxic, and honey, especially after everything I've been through in my life, I am wise enough and smart enough to know when something needs to go, and I will be happy for it to leave, okay? Because we realize that we're now making space for the things that do serve us. So yeah, if a week later I'm back on a dating website, or I'm back out socializing, because it wasn't a devastation to me. It was just, okay, I'm glad that I found that out. I'm glad to remove that person, but I'm not giving up on what I was seeking. I'm not giving up on what I deserve. I still could have it, just not with them. So it's on to the next, honey. It is on to the next. Ain't nobody losing no sleep. Ain't nobody really missing no beats around here. It's good. It's all good. You know, I'm thankful that it didn't go further. So I just want to make this video to validate that experience, because there are survivors out there, and they're still survivors as well. You know, they just didn't have, they were in enough of their strength, or they had enough emotional maturity to be able to handle the situation in another way. And maybe the relationship wasn't long, or maybe they did so much work on themselves within that relationship that by the end of it, you know, they had already went through that process before the relationship ended. Because a lot of times before relationships officially end, you know, people are already going through the grieving. Sometimes that happens, a lot of times, most of the time. All right. But yeah, it does happen. It does happen where, look, look, where you're happy. You're happy to just have them out of your life and to be able to move on with your life. Okay? All right? And good for you. Good for you if you were able to do that. And I'm not making this video to throw shade or to make anybody else feel bad if their experience was more devastating, was more harsh, or felt more cruel or more intense for them. Because look, I've felt the intense ones and I felt the non-intense ones. But the non-intense ones came when I had done my work. See, doing your work does not mean you're never going to attract another narcissist. It just means that if they do try, you know, how they say, oh, she tried that, he tried that. If they do try, they're not going to get far and it's not going to stay long. And your boundaries are going to be appropriate. They can only penetrate so far. They can only penetrate so far. And when it's time to let go, you're not going to have attachment and detachment issues either. So, and then when you are already fulfilled with yourself, you're happy to stand back on your own feet because who wants dead weight? Who wants to deal with that? Okay. So I've been on both ends of the spectrum. So like I said, this isn't a video against or to say something is better than the other, but of course, being in your strength is better, of course, so that you're not going to have that punch in the gut. But, you know, getting the punch in the gut sometimes and usually, if you take the opportunity, it's preparing you to be in your strength on that level. Okay. And that's why you'll hear all types of love songs. It don't hurt no more. Or it used to hurt, or, you know, nothing hurts is the first time. What is Sheryl Crow made a song like that? And I love her too. The first cut is the deepest. And then you learn how to not put your all into a person, because that means you've put them on a throne and you're saying, you know, that they're perfect, and there's no perfect people. There's no perfect people. All right. So we always leave room for that error. And we always see all the angles, even if we're hoping for the best. And that eliminates being devastated. All right. But I don't want to digress in this video. But congratulations to those of you who were able to see that person for who they were and hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back. No more, no more, no more. And, you know, female narcissists too. All of them. Good for you. And you were able to keep living your life, because that is the biggest testament that you can give. This is the best way to counter that energy. Okay? Like, you ain't stopping nothing. The show goes on. Life continues. Like, I was filling my own cups to begin with. I was happy before I met you. I was fulfilled before I met you. Honey, I was paying my bills before I met you. Like, I'm good. And then when you remove the energy in their dark cloud, and God just start pouring in more blessings, and they get to have a front row seat to that too. Okay. Oh my gosh, he will. I should probably specifically make a video about that. It's crazy. It's not crazy. It's an expression. But yes. Okay. So congratulations to you. On to the next. Keep loving yourself. And keep doing, you're on the right track at that point. You've detached the way they treated you from your self-worth and your self-value. You loved yourself enough to just remove yourself. You ain't trying to get them to understand. You ain't trying to get them to change. Good for you. And now you can continue on until someone is actually worthy enough to sit at your table in that case. But in the meanwhile, you're loving yourself. You're making yourself happy. You're doing what you have to do for you. Good for you. All right. So go ahead and hit that like button if this video resonated. If you had that experience, drop down and say, amen, honey. Okay. And until next time, you guys, never give up on yourself. Continue to do the work. And until next time, bye-bye.